Right, the first thing I want to show you is a simple individual lesson with a self-marking quiz that will email a certificate to each student if they get over a certain score. You'll need to record your lesson or presentation before you do this. We'll start by making the quiz. We open our Google Drive to the folder that we want to keep this in, and we will click on New and Google Forms. This will open an untitled form, and first thing we'll do is we will give it a name. So the name I'll give this one is Teacher Training Quiz 1. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our settings right. So we're going to come over here to the little gear box and click on Settings, and you can see there are three headings: General, Presentation, and Quizzes. So for the quizzes, we'll start with quizzes, and the first thing we want to do is make this a quiz. Don't worry about turning locked mode on, or we're not using Chromebooks, and I usually release the grade immediately after each submission rather than reviewing it before I release the grades. The respondents will be able to see the missed questions. I'm going to unclick the correct answers because I don't want them to see the correct answers, because they have a chance to resubmit the quiz. And they will also be able to see their point values. On the Presentation tab, I want to show the progress bar. This is usually useful, especially for longer quizzes. I don't necessarily want to shuffle the question order, especially if I'm issuing a certificate. I'll explain that in a little while. I do want to click to show a link to submit another response, so that the kids can resubmit this assignment or this quiz. The confirmation says your response has been recorded. That's fine. I usually don't change that. The General tab, I click Collect Email Addresses. Restrict the users in the New South Wales Department of Education, and I have that the respondents can edit after submit, but they don't need to really see the summary charts and text responses. So we'll save this and we'll go on over here. Now at this point, we have any place that we want to put this. We can add the presentation. I'm going to add the questions first, though, because the first part of the first set of questions is going to be the information that'll go on the certificate. So I could just add my own questions here, but I have them already on a different quiz. So I'm going to import those questions. And the quiz that I have, Cluster B Environment, that's the one that I'm going to use. Now the questions that I'm going to add, I'm going to add full name, course, teacher's name, and are you ready to begin? The reason I add are you ready to begin, because that's worth 1 mark, and whatever this certificate program sees before the first mark is what it'll put on the certificate. Then I'm going to add the other questions that I want, and I have them down here under my section 4 over here, and there's 2 questions that I want to add, and I'm going to import those questions. So we'll go down and have a look at these questions here. Right over here, I want to add a heading, add a section. No, I don't want to add a section. I'm going to add just a heading, a title and description, and I'm going to call this resources, or I'm going to call it presentation. That's even better for this section. And what I'm going to do down here is I'm just going to attach a link that I have on a previous quiz. So I'll just select the URL for that and copy that. Go back to my form here, and I'm going to just type in a presentation for this section. Click on the link and paste that in there. Okay, so I've got the presentation, And I've got my questions, untitled questions. That's an extra. I didn't need that. I'm just going to delete that one. This is already got my points in there. Okay, you can just look. There's a variety of different types of questions, and they're pretty easy to work out. So next thing I want to do is to have my responses. So I'll click on the responses, and I'm accepting responses. And since there aren't any, I need to create a spreadsheet for it. And I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. Let me just cancel that for a second, because up here at the form, it was still set untitled. If you click on that, it'll just change the name of that form. Now I'll go to the spreadsheet. There's the name of the spreadsheet, and I'm just going to create that, and it'll be created in the same folder as the quiz. And you can see all the students' information and all of their answers will be automatically put into this spreadsheet. So the next thing I want to do is to enable the certificates. Up here, first of all, there's an add-on. It's called Certify'em. And the way to get to this add-on is you would go to this three dots here that says More, Add-ons, and then you would click on Certify'em. Okay, this is free to the Department of Education, and you can print up to 1,500 certificates a day, so it's quite good. And just install that. Okay, so to enable Certify'em, we go up to this little piece up here where it says Add-ons, and we click on that. Click on Certify'em, and a menu will come up that says Enable Certify'em in this quiz. So now it says Certify'em is now enabled for use in the quiz. Get started. And a little menu box will come over here. And what this will do, it says the certification is off, and where the records are stored. Passing mark is 80%. There's different templates, 1,500 emails remaining, advanced help upgrade. Okay, we don't need to worry too much about those. All we want to do is we want to decide how many marks we need to get to enable the certificate. 80%, there's 9 points altogether. 80%, that's probably fair enough, so we'll leave it at 80%. I'm going to save this. I don't want to keep it in certificate records. I want to save this in the same file that I have my other folders in, or my same folder that I have my other files in. So we'll go up here and just save to drive, move it down to classroom, and where did I have that? Teacher training presentations. And I just want to put it in there, and we're going to move it there, and I'm going to rename it Teacher Training Quiz 1. Okay, and then that's set there. And then you need to go back to the quiz, to the Certify'em box, and turn on the certification. And the certification is on. So that's that, and it's all set up now. There's one other thing that I want to show you, and if you go back to the responses, the spreadsheet for the responses, what I like to do is click on the score, and I want to do a conditional formatting. So I go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and since this has 9 marks, I'm going to format that where set the rule, format the cell. If the cell is greater than or equal to, I'll just say 7, the formatting style will be green. I'll add another rule. If the format is less than or equal to 4, then I'll make that red. Okay, so there are two rules there. So whatever the marks there, it'll highlight in red or green the students who are doing well or the students who may be struggling. Okay, thank you.